Cleo and Trajan continue their search for the crown of the tyrant king. They have entered the monarchy and are following a trail left for them by Vespasian, the half-brother of Trajan. They have arrived at the Empire Inn in Fort Titan, the first stop of Maximus and the caravan on their journey from the desert realm. The innkeeper has handed Cleo a letter left behind by Vespasian. Whilst Trajan heads out to meet with an old friend, who's a resident of the fort, Cleo sits by the fireside in her room to read the letter.
Now then, let's see. What have you got to tell me about Vespasian? What do you have to say about Maximus, his caravan and the crown? Dear Cleo, you didn't make me feel so dear when we first met. Anyway, that's not the point. It seems our friend Maximus is much more ambitious than we anticipated. However, not in the manner we were expecting. He is serious about this caravan and continues to search for dancers to join him along the way as we travel. As if that's of any real importance. We need to know about the crown. What does Maximus know about it? I have taken on the role of the unofficial encampment medic. My military training is enough to fulfill this. I hope this will help me to gain the information you need from the workers and from the other dancers, though I admit I seem to be gaining very little. I have made some friends, however. The Lynette family, Gwendolyn and 2 of her 3 daughters. They seem to be connected to Maximus, and the hatred between them is mutual. Gwendolyn is very protective of her daughters, but it seems the oldest child, Ebony, dotes upon Maximus. I really don't see how this will help us to find the crown any quicker. I'm glad you're making friends with Vespasian, but that hardly helps us. Gwendolyn, Scarlet, and Desiree suffer at his hands terribly. He has a secret place he calls the Playroom, which is in fact a torture chamber with a stretching rack and something he calls the abdominal press. He's also just acquired a new device he's named as the Roller. He subjects the 3 of them to the torment, but the eldest daughter, Ebony, actually volunteers to be tortured. She enjoys it. Such is his brainwashing of her. Maximus is a greater monster than I realized. No wonder he has such a terrible reputation, if that's what he does to his dancers. I'm surprised there has not been an uprising. The reason there has not been a hint of rebellion against him because of this treatment of this family is that Maximus has placed a terrible shadow spell over the encampment. The other dancers are totally unaware of his cruelty. They see a kind and benevolent man who treats them with care and respect. He has managed to fool everyone except me. The thing is, I dare not attempt to try and break his spell, as it is too strong. And though I am capable of forms of magic, this is not something I wish to get too deep into trying to break. Vespasian, you could have told me that you were adept in magic to begin with. That would have made the task so much easier. Oh. Either way, I'm sure you have your reasons for hiding that from us. On that note, I have attempted to ask about certain contacts he has across the monarchy. 2 names have been repeatedly said to me. The first name is Ulrich, who I know to be the master of bardic studies at the academy, and the other is a man by the name of Rafik from the town of Kali. Rafik. I might have known that Rafik would be involved in this in some way or another. He has his fingers in too many pies not to be. The only thing I know is that Corvus is searching for him. And once he finds out he's working for Maximus, there will be serious consequences. I know that Ulrich is acting as a recruiter at the academy, apparently. He owes Maximus a huge debt. Therefore, he's paying it off by helping to bring new dancers to the caravan when they graduate. I hear Maximus and Cassandra at the academy have worked upon a deception spell to keep other members of the academy from discovering their plot. Well, I wouldn't call it a plot, Vespasian. It's not exactly going to topple the current monarch or cause the academy to close. The problem with him is he's far too dramatic. I shall have to ask Trajan on his return if Vespasian had a dramatic streak when they were growing up. In regards to the crown of the Tyrant King, I have no information to give you. Maximus has been disappearing from time to time, and I can't always tell where he's going. I know when we were at Fort Titan, where no doubt you're reading this letter, he travelled to Garalos, where I'm now with a caravan, and soon he is going to travel to Ondar City. He travels in advance of our arrival to discuss the final details of performances and accommodation. I hear that he will be meeting with the head of the Justice Council in Ondar City, a man by the name of Eldred. Lord Eldred. If I recall, he was the individual who put out the announcement that the crown of the Tyrant King had been found with permission of the monarch. That is an interesting development. Perhaps in my reply I can ask Vespasian to check Maximus's correspondence whilst he is away in Ondar City. I can only imagine that there might be some information received from Lord Eldred directly. Regardless, I must finish reading. In conclusion, it appears that my search for information here is proving complicated and fruitless. However, I continue to persevere onwards in order to bring you something positive. I think you already have, Vespasian. Perhaps you're not so bad after all. Therefore, for the time being, I shall sign off and keep you updated in my next letter, which I shall send before we leave Garalos. Remember, please remain one city behind, and I will leave you information and clues with a trustworthy innkeeper. All the best for now. Vespasian of Kali. Oh, no. I really don't like this. This one city behind intrigue. What if Vespasian gets discovered and we lose our one source of information? Perhaps if I can gain the trust of the Lynette family, we may be able to have a secondary source. I imagine their hatred for Maximus would give them cause to work against him with us. Trajan, you're back.
Hey, Cleo. On my way back, I stopped off at one of the merchants and found something that might be of interest.
Trajan, please tell me you did not waste your money on a trinket.
No, of course not.
Good.
It was something left behind by Maximus.
Maximus.
Something he parted with to make a payment.
Maximus? Payment? What did he buy?
Allegedly, information. But what information that was, I couldn't get the merchant to tell me. His mind had been wiped of the conversation except for knowledge of this ring.
Ring? Oh, let me see that.
Here you go, Cleo.
Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, this cannot be.
What's the matter, Cleo?
This ring. This ring. It's a family ring. Look, look. Do you recognize the crest?
I've only ever seen it once, Cleo. When I last visited Maximus in Drevin.
Maximus? Trajan, when did you visit Drevin?
Oh, I wouldn't worry, Cleo. It wasn't recently. It was before I met you.
So then you would have seen the symbol on your visit.
Oh, of course. I remember now. It's the family crest of the Volkovs. But why would Maximus have possession of such a ring?
Tell me, have you ever known Maximus's full name?
Everyone knows his full name. It's Maximus of Gebelra.
Yes, but what if? What if? What if? Trajan, what if his full name is actually Maximus Erasmus Volkov?
Maximus Erasmus Volkov.
Yes, that's right.
He disappeared centuries ago. The history books talk about it happening. Surely a ring like that doesn't prove that our Maximus is the same one who disappeared all that time ago, does it?
Yes, but if, like his father, he is a vampire, and therefore heir to necrotia, he would be hiding in plain sight. He could be using the Caravan as a place to create vampires.
But what I don't understand is this. Why would he leave his family ring as payment with a merchant here in Fort Titan?
Because he knows we are onto him. Oh. This ring is a warning. He must know about Vespasian. Trajan, he is in danger.
It's my fault, Cleo. I should never have suggested Vespasian to act as an undercover agent in the Caravan for us.
No. It is not your fault, Trajan. Maximus is just sharper than we anticipated. He is clearly drawing us into a trap. One that we shall have to allow to be sprung if it seems we want to find out more about the crown.
We're not seriously going to walk into his trap, are we?
Oh, I think we have
Who
to.
knows what Maximus might have in store for us?
Unfortunately, thanks to the letter from Vespasian, I do. I wish I didn't know. But I do. But we must take that risk. We'll avoid the caravan in Garalos and head directly for Ondar City. We can take some time there to research how to deal with the vampires.
There was that special group I heard about who was set up to deal with them too. I think they were called the Order... Ordus? Ordi?
The Ordo Interim, the vampire hunters. I believe Lord Eldred has connections to them. Perhaps, if we can convince them that Maximus is false, we can stop him in his tracks and finally put an end to this evil.
But what about the crown of the Tyrant King?
This is not about the crown of the Tyrant King. Don't you see, Trajan? It's never been about the crown of the Tyrant King. Maximus and his father are searching for it. That much is true. But this is about the safety of an entire nation. The future of the monarchy is at stake, and we may be the only ones to save it.
So what do we do?
We pack our things. Right now. Start on the road to Ondar City and bypass Gyarados. At this time, the caravan is still there, so we should arrive before they do. However, thanks to the information from Vespasian, I know that Maximus travels ahead of the caravan to finalize the arrangements with their host.
Perhaps if we can find this Ordo Interitum,
In Ordo Interitum.
we can gain their help to fight Maximus and expose him to the world for the vampire he is.
That may not be easy. However, I know of a potential contact. A duchess by the name of Eleanor, who I believe may have information regarding the vampire hunters. If I can arrange a meeting with her, then perhaps we will be able to get some answers.
I'll make myself scarce for that meeting. I think you'd be best speaking with her on your own.
Thank you, Trajan. It is for the best. I hear she is understanding, but not so welcoming of those who may appear to waste her time. It would be risky for you to be present.
Well, whilst you meet with her, I can perhaps do a bit of snooping. I've a few contacts within the City Watch who can fix it for me to roam the city freely. Though I have a bad feeling about District 13.
District 13. Trajan, I've heard tales of District 13 myself. Be careful, Trajan, whatever you do. I don't want to discover you've been arrested for any reason.
I promise I'll be careful. I promise you that.
Right, let's pack and leave the fort. It will take over a week to reach Ondar City. Unless we can find a carriage.
Leave that to me, Cleo. I'll pop outside and see if I can find some transport.
Trajan,
Don't worry. Things will be okay in the end. You'll see. Friendship is stronger than the power of any vampire.
Trajan. Even in the face of danger, you remain so sweet and innocent. Yet I am unable to tell him the truth, his true origin, lost to his noble family. He shall find out one day, and it may be the greatest pain he has ever experienced. To know that he may have been abandoned after birth. How will he react when he discovers the truth? I am unable to answer that question. My heart goes out to him to know he feels so lost and alone in the world. Ostracized by most of his adoptive family because they know the truth and hold it back from him. Yet, he doesn't let it affect his heart in any way. He still remains a kind and loving individual, but with a dark creature inside of him. I only hope our potential encounter with Maximus doesn't slow our journey to Verona to lift the curse he carries upon his shoulders. To think, I nearly forgot about the darkness within him. To be honest, I am very proud of my dearest friend. In the face of adversity, he doesn't cease to let the light shining from within let him dim or go out entirely. His spirit is much stronger than the darkness, and I shall be here all the way to help him when he is in pain, to catch him when he stumbles. Oh, Trajan, I shall be by your side if you fall. Your caring heart keeps you going, my dearest, most innocent, and sweetest friend.
It seems that Maximus is on to the investigators as they continue their search for the crown. The threat he poses is greater than either of them anticipated. They now realize they are clearly walking into a trap, and that they may need to gain the help of the vampire hunters to stop him. Cleo's greater concern, however, is the knowledge that Maximus is not afraid to inflict torture upon anyone he deems as an enemy or problem to silence them. So why, just as they are beginning to leave Fort Titan, is she beginning to have a strange feeling that Maximus, if he does capture her and Trajan, will spare them such an ordeal? Is he feeding her thoughts? Perhaps he has been manipulating her and Trajan from the beginning. After all, he did meet with Trajan, or at least the monster that resides within him. Now, preparing to face whatever will be put in their path, the two friends head towards Ondar City, and possibly a greater level of danger.